So a producer sends a beat to an artist's email. Very common. It happens on Twitter. They say, hey, I'm looking for beats for a project. The producer sends the email, all happy and wet behind the ears, excited. They send 4 or 5 beats. The artist picks a beat, does not notify them, creates a song to it, puts it out on streaming, puts it out on SoundCloud, all those different things, and no contact and no business has been arranged with that said producer.
That is an easy question to answer.
Okay.
I'm glad you asked. So you technically have a copyright as soon as it's fixed. So let's say that it's actually on like a recording device or it's on
Okay.
your computer and it's original. If you meet those 2 quotas, you have a copyright. Now, to be able to sue
Interesting.
somebody, right, you've got to register it
Okay.
with the copyright office. But you've already met that step where you're like, okay, I made the music, I'm sending you 5 beats. I would make sure to let them know these are copywritten beats, right? You find out that they used your beat. Now, let's say you give it like an internal number. Now you go to and you do what we call a DMCA takedown notice. If you look for a custodian who, like, let's say Spotify, look up Spotify DMCA custodian,
Mm-hmm.
and then you send them an email saying, hey, this person stole my music. This is my song. These are the emails. They need to take it down because they've infringed. 9 times out of 10, they'll take it down. Now, if they don't do that, then you'd have to go ahead and register your copyright and then sue. Well, send a cease and desist and then sue. But usually just going the DMCA route will take care of it. It'll have them take the song down.
You notice how none of that said to tell Twitter your issues? Y'all notice that? Y'all notice that? Y'all notice how this it didn't say go on a Twitter
You're
rant?
so petty.
I am, because you know what? Like, there's a part of me that's like, I empathize, but I'm also big brother to a lot of producers. I share things with my community in hopes that they don't make the same mistakes that I would have once made. And I get it. Some of these artists are people that you look up to and you want to work with, but telling Twitter your issues and putting it all out there, I understand it's a very human thing to do, but damn it, that don't get none of the business taken care of. Right. And you see it all the time where none of those steps are taken. And it's like you have access right now to the DMCA process that can take it down instead of hoping that you go viral on YouTube or go viral through your tweets. Like that's one step of the process that doesn't move the needle. And so I'm glad that you broke that down because I think a lot of folks need to hear that.
I looked up Spotify DMCA takedown notice and it says how to make a legal claim relating to content on Spotify. And it's from support.spotify.com. So a quick Google search, they
Wow.
literally walk you through the process. It depends on levels of threatening. I send a cease and desist saying like, hey, you stole my stuff, right? And you need to either take it down or pay me. And if you don't, we're going to use all available legal resources, which means I'm gonna sue you. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
usually that is enough for people to like turn it around and be like, okay, I'm sorry, my bad. You know what I mean?
My
Some people
bad.
don't even know. Yeah. So they'll take it down or they'll fix it or they'll add you on and start paying you. So you have other options. I know this is going to sound crazy coming from an attorney, but you have other options before you sue. As long as you know you're the owner of this work, so you can tell people, like you can deal with that person however you'd like before you decide that you're going to go through a lawsuit. And usually a cease and desist or a DMCA takedown notice is enough to get that process handled.
Well, and I wasn't even
And
talking about necessarily just artists hand-to-hand independent. I'm talking about these major label artists who find a beat on YouTube, swipe a beat offline, they'll get a license or whatever for it, and they put it out. And maybe they even get the exclusive. I know the exclusive confuses things in terms of the terminology when it comes to law, but if they took those steps that you suggested, that's getting the attention of the big guys, these major labels who don't care about the stuff happening on social media. They more so want to know, what is this cease and desist coming from? Why are they contacting us? What happened to this? I feel like those are the things that actually can move the needle in terms of you getting what you're owed.
there was a song on Spotify. It was released for this producer. He reached out to me for a consultation. They released the music. They never paid him. They didn't tell him that it was released. He was like, I found out that the album dropped like yesterday. I said, contact the manager and tell them, hey, I need the paperwork. It didn't get obvious. It's like you must have forgotten to send it.
Yeah.
Make sure to send it that way. And then he said, thank you, because immediately, like maybe a day later, they gave him paperwork to go ahead and get forward and pay him his music. A lot of times people won't do these things because you just don't even ask and they don't think that you're going to ask. But if you make a big enough deal, like it can become a problem.